Alright guys, Infinite Crab Room here. First thing you're going to do is decide what position you are. If you're a 5-man, you need 2 majors, 2 meleeers, 1 ranger. If you are a 4-man, you still need 2 majors, and you just have 1 meleeer and 1 ranger. Mage is by far the most important position, so I'm primarily going to be focusing on what the major does. But I'll throw in a couple extra tips for the ranger and the meleeer as well. But like I said, mage is the most important. If you ice barrage crabs that are on a pillar, they will stop attacking the pillar, even if it's a different type of crab. So when things get crazy, you can just ice barrage everything, and then you like put a temporary hold on those pillars taking damage. So that's why maging is definitely the most important. We start off the room. Things are pretty chill at the beginning. The key here is that you pretty much barrage absolutely everything. Do not use a trident in here. The trident is garbage. Even if you're just barraging one crab, it's fine. Sometimes you catch an extra crab in your barrage, and that's just a crab that's not doing damage for that period of time. So it's a good thing. And if there are no majors on the field, I just sometimes barrage like a big clump of like rangers and meleeers just to stop them from doing damage. So a misconception, people sometimes think that if you use the wrong attack style on a crab that it causes it to blow up. That's not true. The crabs just blow up after a period of time, basically when there's too many crabs in the room. So what using the wrong attack style does is it stops you from being able to damage that specific crab. So someone else can damage it, you just can't damage it. So if you're barraging everything, you can just freeze these huge chunks of crabs and you won't be able to hit the melee and range crabs anymore, but I mean you don't really have to because you're the major. Also important thing to do as a major is to blood barrage to keep your health topped off. You do not want to have to brew as the major because that is a huge amount of time that you are not able to barrage because you have to brew a couple times and then use a restore, and you're taking more damage. So really try and keep your health topped off with blood barrage whenever you can. Especially when things get crazy. You can heal off of the non-mage crabs. So if there's just a huge chunk of crabs on a pillar, toss a blood barrage on it and you'll heal like 40 HP. It's a good way to keep your health up. And then just get right back on barraging. You do not have to pray in here at the beginning, but once a good amount of crabs start coming in, I like to pray whatever I think the most prominent color is. I usually just pray mage personally, but you can pray range too as well if there's a bunch of rangers in there. So here, I mean, I'm just keeping my health topped off, throw on ice barrages on big clumps when I get a chance. And really, another important thing is staying in open spaces. So the crabs do blow up periodically. So if you're right next to them, you take damage. But if you stay in like big open spaces, you won't get hit as often. This is also true for the other positions. If you're ranging or meleeing, you want to try and stay in open positions as much as you can. It's hard as a meleeer. What you can do is you can like attack a crab and then run out into an open space and then attack a crab again. If you want to do it that way, you need to bring a stamina potion in here. But being in open spaces is definitely important. Keeping your health topped off is definitely important as well. Because you can get comboed out really fast here. A bunch of crabs can die all at once. Pillars can go down. When pillars go down, they hit you for a shit ton and they kind of like stun you in place. So having high health is important here. Whether you're maintaining that through blood barrage or brewing or whatever. Try and keep your health up. Here a pillar goes down. 2 pillars actually go down. I almost die. I'm trying to blood barrage so I don't lose my ice barrage, but I'm too close to death, so I just brew up. There's not that many crabs left in the room anyway. We cut it pretty close here. Ideally, you at most have 1 pillar go down. But, you know, sometimes things happen. Sometimes you just don't hit very well. Okay, so you finished off all the small crabs. You can leave up a like melee or range crab, a small melee or range crab, if a pillar has HP, and people can blood barrage on it and heal back up to full. So we're kind of doing that here. He kills it, but once all the small crabs are dead, come to this corner specifically. This is a safe spot from the melee of the big crab, and the big crab will always start in melee form. So you want to come to this spot, and you're going to stay in this corner pretty much the whole time. Get on your melee gear, get your spec ready. I like to super combat up here just to get a little bit extra damage in, make it go a little bit faster. Get your specs off. If you're using Dragon Claws, you can get 2. If you're using Crystal Howl, you only get 1. And then you have to change prayer here first. So if you do not change prayer immediately, you're going to get hit for like a 45. So always prioritize changing prayer for this big crab. So the order I do things is I get on the right prayer, I get on the right equipment, then I start attacking, and then I switch back to my prayer tab, and I am immediately ready to switch to the next prayer. You will stop attacking on your own the second it switches. So you don't have to like click off of it or anything. As soon as the crab switches colors, your character will just automatically stop attacking. So prioritize being on the right prayer. I can't stress it enough. You have to just switch instantaneously. You have to be ready. This is the melee safe spot, so you can kind of like predict that it's going to be range or mage, depending on what you're sitting on, and then that can be a little bit safer because you don't have to switch to melee prayer right away. But like I said, switching to the right prayer, by far the most important thing. You can get, I think, like 4 or 5 blowpipe hits off. You can get 2 melee attacks off if you attack right away, and you can get 2 like blood barrages or mage attacks off. If you do it right away. If you're a little bit late, don't worry about it. Prioritize the prayer. Prayer is by far the most important thing. This is really easy once you get it down. You just have to switch your prayers on time. This will hit through prayers sometimes too, so keep an eye on your health. It's okay to use a little bit of brew here, a little bit of restore. You're going to get more supplies pretty shortly here. But like I said, biggest thing is the prayer. And then you just keep repeating the cycle until you kill the crab. That's pretty much it for this room. It's an easy room to wipe on. That guy just got hit at 48, didn't change his prayer in time. But like I said, easy room to wipe on. Once you get to this part, you're pretty safe as long as you have a good number of people left alive. If you only have like 1 or 2 people alive to kill this crab, they're going to use a ton of supplies. So you're going to be in a bad spot afterward. But if you have most of your team alive, at least 3, you should be fine. So it takes a little bit of practice. When in doubt, barrage everything, and you'll get it eventually.